It feels like AI is just everywhere now.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I turn around, there's a new tool or someone saying it's going to revolutionize everything.
Yeah.
But, I think you're right to kind of focus on product design. It's really at the forefront of how we're all interacting with tech these days.
Absolutely.
And we've got these 2 articles here that are diving into how AI is changing the game for product designers.
Yeah, and it's really not just hype, It's already changing the way that design is done.
Okay.
Like from the initial research phase all the way to launching the product.
So we've all seen the headlines. We all know it's a big deal.
Right.
But I'm curious about like the real impact, the real numbers.
Yeah.
And these articles mention some pretty staggering stats about AI adoption.
Yeah, the numbers are
Like really?
they're pretty compelling.
Okay.
So a McKinsey report found that between 2017 and 2022,
Right.
the use of AI in at least one business area, like Morgan, doubled.
Wow.
It jumped from 20% to 50%.
That's
Yeah, and what's really interesting is there was a peak at 58% adoption in 2019.
That is wild. I mean, I knew it was becoming more common, but that's such a big jump.
Yeah.
Why 2019? Why the surge and then the little dip?
Well, 2019 was right before the pandemic really hit us.
Right, right.
So it's possible that some companies maybe jumped on the AI bandwagon without a solid plan and had to kind of pull back.
When things got uncertain.
Yeah, when things got a little shaky.
Right.
But it also suggests that, the current rise is more strategic, right?
Yeah.
It's more integrated into how businesses are operating.
That makes sense. So it's not just a passing trend.
Definitely not.
It's like AI is becoming a core part of doing business.
Yeah, especially for companies focused on design.
Exactly. But what does this actually look like, for designers on a day-to-day basis?
Well, the articles highlight a whole bunch of AI tools that are impacting design workflows.
Okay.
And some of them might even sound familiar to you.
Okay.
I bet you've encountered Adobe Sensei without even realizing it.
Oh, interesting.
Especially if you use Photoshop or any of those other Creative Cloud apps.
Oh, yeah. I use Photoshop quite a bit.
There you go.
What's it doing behind the scenes?
So it's basically using AI to power features.
Okay.
Like image recognition, color matching,
Okay.
even suggesting fonts for you.
It's like a little helper.
It's like having an intelligent assistant helping you make those design choices.
Right. Refining all those little things.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it takes a lot of the guesswork out of it.
Yeah. But the articles also mention some newer tools,
Oh, yeah.
ones that feel really futuristic.
Absolutely.
What are some of those?
So there's one called Uzard that's getting a ton of attention.
Okay.
It can translate like your hand-drawn sketches
Really?
into UI code in seconds.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty mind-blowing.
That's incredible, yeah. That would be a game changer for sure.
For sure, especially in those early stages of a project.
Yeah, totally. Any other tools stand out?
One that I found really interesting was user testing. Okay. It uses AI to connect companies with their target audience for research.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, it makes the whole process more efficient.
Because getting real user feedback is crucial.
Hmm.
But finding the right people
It's such a pain.
can be such a pain, yeah.
So AI really streamlines that.
Okay.
And then there's tools like Framer.
Okay.
They're pushing the boundaries even further.
Right.
It uses AI for predictive design.
What?
Yeah, so it analyzes user patterns and suggests design elements that actually anticipate user needs.
Whoa. That's like,
It's like having an AI partner.
yeah, it's like mind reading almost.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. That sounds like sci-fi, but it's real.
It's happening
It's really happening.
right now.
Okay, so let's break it down.
Yeah.
The articles outline how AI is impacting specific stages of the design process.
Right.
They talk about research, visual design, ideation, even automating the entire workflow.
Yep, and each stage is being transformed in really cool ways.
Okay.
So take research, for example.
Okay.
AI can analyze mountains of data
Okay.
from user feedback, surveys, social media.
Right.
It can even spot patterns and insights that humans might miss.
It's like a superpowered research assistant.
It really is.
That never gets tired.
Never sleeps.
Sifting through all that data
Yeah,
to highlight what's important.
exactly.
What about the visual design aspect? Is AI actually creating full designs from scratch yet?
Not quite yet, but it's definitely changing how visual design is done.
Okay.
Think about all the tedious tasks,
Uh-huh.
resizing images, color correcting, fine-tuning layouts.
Yeah.
AI can handle a lot of those repetitive things,
Okay.
so designers can focus on the creative, strategic elements.
So it's not about replacing human designers,
No.
but it's giving them better tools to work more efficiently.
And creatively, yeah.
Like AI handles the grunt work,
Yeah,
so human creativity can shine.
I like that. That's a good way to put it.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what about ideation?
So AI's ability to process tons of data
Yeah.
opens up possibilities for personalization at scale.
Okay.
We're talking about tailoring experiences to individual users,
Wow.
which would be basically impossible to do manually for a large user base.
That's the dream, right?
It is.
Creating experiences that are unique to each person.
Yeah.
But what about automating the whole design process? Is that even possible?
It's definitely being explored,
Okay.
but there are limitations.
Yeah.
While AI can automate certain parts of the process, design is human-centered, right?
That's core, yeah.
It's about empathy, understanding human needs and emotions.
Right.
And that's where human judgment is still essential.
Okay, so it's all about finding that balance.
Finding that sweet spot.
Using AI for some things, but keeping that human element.
Absolutely.
Okay, but let's talk about the benefits.
Yeah.
Beyond just AI is cool.
Right.
These articles highlighted speed, creativity, data-driven decisions, even cost savings.
Yeah, and let's be honest, who doesn't want to save time and money?
Right.
But AI allows designers to work faster and smarter. Okay.
Which means more time for innovation and exploring new creative territories.
So it's not just doing the same things faster.
No.
It's about unlocking new possibilities.
Totally.
And what about data-driven design?
So with AI, designers can tap into massive amounts of data to inform their decisions.
So no more relying on gut feeling.
Exactly.
It's all backed up by cold, hard data.
Evidence-based design choices.
That's powerful.
Yeah.
But what about this concept of minimizing the interface? The articles mention that.
Right.
It sounds kind of counterintuitive.
It does.
How can AI make the interface smaller? Isn't tech usually about adding more complexity?
Well, it's all about how these sophisticated AI algorithms are actually modeled after the human brain.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
These neural networks allow AI to understand human behavior
Uh-huh.
in a way that feels more intuitive and natural.
Oh, okay. So instead of designing more complex interfaces,
Mm-hmm.
we can use AI to create tech that feels more human and easier to use.
Exactly. More seamless.
That's really intriguing. It is.
But before we get too carried away by the amazing possibilities,
Yeah,
I think it's important to talk about the potential challenges too.
I agree.
Like, the fear that AI will just replace human designers altogether.
Right, replacement anxiety.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and that's understandable. People are apprehensive.
Mm-hmm.
But AI is a tool.
Okay.
It's meant to augment human capabilities, not to replace them.
I think that's a really important point to emphasize.
Yeah,
AI is not the enemy. It's here to help.
exactly. It's about finding that balance, finding the right way to use it.
And using AI to help designers do their best work.
Exactly.
But there are other potential pitfalls, right?
Yeah, as AI gets more sophisticated, we need to think about how we design it, how we train it,
Make sure it's being used responsibly.
responsibly, ethically.
Yeah, AI is a powerful tool, and like any tool, it needs to be used carefully.
It does.
So as we move forward, I'm really curious to dig into those nuances
Yeah.
and understand how designers can use AI while also being aware of the challenges.
Absolutely. That's a great point, and it's definitely something we'll dig into more in this deep dive.
Excellent. Well, I think it's time to wrap up part 1 here
Okay.
and give our listeners something to ponder.
A little cliffhanger.
Got to keep them coming back for more.
You got it.
So, dear listener, here's a question for you.
Yeah.
Given everything we've talked about today,
Mm-hmm.
the good and the bad, the sheer power of it all, would you trust an AI to design a product that you use every single day?
And even more importantly, what would it take for you to feel confident in its choices?
Keep that in mind as we continue our deep dive into AI and design in part 2.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.
So, thinking about that question we left you with,
Oh, yeah.
would you trust an AI to design something you use every day?
Yeah. It's pretty mind-blowing when you really think about it.
It is, right? It kind of gets to the heart of this
Yeah.
whole thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing to be impressed by the technology, right? But it's another thing entirely to imagine letting an algorithm make those decisions.
Like handing over that creative control.
Exactly.
It's a little scary.
Yeah, and the articles really capture that tension
Yeah.
between the excitement and the apprehension around AI.
Mhm.
Like, On one hand, there's this huge potential
Right.
efficiency, personalization, even saving money.
Right, right.
But then there's these questions about human creativity and control.
And to be fair, some of those concerns are valid.
Absolutely.
We talked about how AI could be used in ways that are harmful.
Right. Yeah, it's crucial to acknowledge those risks.
Yeah.
We need to be really thoughtful about how we develop and use AI, especially with something as personal and impactful as design.
Right, exactly. But I think it's important to remember that these articles really emphasize AI as a tool for empowering designers.
Right.
Not just automating everything.
That's a key distinction.
Yeah.
Seeing AI as a way to like amplify human capabilities.
Not replace them.
Not replace. Yeah.
Exactly. It's AI and humans working together.
Right. Together to create something even better.
Greater than either could alone.
Yeah. And the articles have some great examples of how that collaboration can actually work.
Okay. Yeah, like what?
Well, think about how AI can analyze all that data and find patterns, insights that we might miss.
Like a research assistant on steroids?
Basically, processing information so fast.
Fast, yeah.
Finding connections that would take a human team forever.
Right.
And that insight is so valuable in those early stages.
Totally, when you're trying to define the problem and come up with new solutions.
Exactly. So instead of relying on intuition, AI can help make more informed decisions.
Evidence-based design.
Yeah, create designs that really connect with users.
On a whole new level.
Yeah, and it goes beyond research.
Yep.
AI can play a role in the visual design process too.
Right.
Help create variations of a design, experiment with colors, even generate new concepts.
Like having an AI brainstorming buddy.
Right. Pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
Yeah, helping you think outside the box.
Exactly. And don't forget about personalization.
Oh, right. Well,
AI can create products that adapt to each user.
whoa.
Learn their behavior, evolve over time.
That's like the
dream.
holy grail of design.
It is, to make everyone feel like the product was made just for them.
Right, even with millions of users.
Yeah, and that's only possible with AI.
Yeah.
It's not just about making things more appealing. It's about making tech more accessible and intuitive for everyone.
Meaningful, yeah.
Yeah, that's a powerful idea.
It is.
Using AI to make design more inclusive.
Everyone benefits.
Exactly. But it all comes back to trust. If we're going to embrace AI in design, we need to build systems that are transparent and accountable.
So we can trust them, yeah.
We got to design AI that's not just intelligent, but also ethical, aligned with our values.
So the designer's role is changing too.
It is, big time.
It's not just about aesthetics anymore. They need to be stewards of AI.
Yeah.
It's another one of those buzzwords.
It is.
I hear it everywhere, but what does it actually mean?
So at its core,
Machine learning is a type of AI where computers learn from data without being explicitly programmed.
So instead of giving the computer a set of rules to follow, we give it a bunch of data.
Tons of data.
And let it figure out the patterns itself.
Exactly. Let it discover those relationships on its own.
Is it kind of like giving a kid a giant box of Legos?
Okay, I like this.
And letting them figure out how to build stuff without instructions?
Yeah, that's a great analogy.
The more they play and experiment, the better they get at building.
Exactly. The more data the AI sees, the better it gets at recognizing patterns, making predictions.
So, for example, a tool like Adobe Sensei, which we talked about earlier, it's probably been trained on millions of images.
Right. Oh, yeah. Tons of them.
So it learns to recognize different things.
Objects, colors, styles.
Okay, so that's how it can, like, pick the best font for a design?
Exactly. Or suggest color palettes that work well together.
It's like having a little design expert in your pocket.
I know, right?
But I imagine there are limitations.
Of course.
The articles talked about those.
Yeah, it's important to acknowledge those.
So what are some of the things that AI still struggles with in design?
One of the biggest challenges is bias.
Okay.
Making sure the AI isn't amplifying existing biases.
Right, because if the data used to train the AI is biased, then the AI itself is going to be biased.
Exactly.
And that's a problem when you're designing for a diverse group of people.
It is. It could lead to some really problematic outcomes.
So designers need to be very careful about the data they use.
Absolutely. And be aware of how those biases might show up in the final product.
Are there any other limitations we should know about?
Well, AI can sometimes lack that nuance and creativity that human designers bring to the table.
Right, like AI is probably great at logic and patterns.
Yeah.
But that spark of inspiration.
That aha
moment.
Yeah, that feels very human. Absolutely, and that's why we can't forget that AI is a tool.
Right.
Not a replacement for us.
It's about that collaboration, right?
That is, AI and humans working together.
To create something amazing.
Exactly. Each playing to their strengths.
So given all that, what skills do designers need now to be successful in this new world?
It's clear that the role of the designer is evolving.
Right.
It's not enough to just be good at the visual stuff anymore, right?
Designers need to understand AI.
They need to become fluent in the language of AI.
So they need to know how it works.
The basics.
What it can and can't do. How to use it ethically.
Exactly. Responsibly.
So like data analysis, understanding algorithms, maybe even machine learning.
Yeah, those are all becoming essential skills for designers.
It sounds like a lot to learn.
It is, but it's worth it.
Yeah.
The designers who embrace these new skills will be the ones shaping the future.
Creating truly innovative and impactful experiences.
Absolutely.
This whole conversation has been so insightful.
I'm glad.
I'm feeling a lot more optimistic about the future of AI and design.
Good. I think that's the takeaway here.
But it's also a little daunting to know things are changing so fast.
Yeah, it's a lot to keep up with.
But ultimately, I think it's a good thing.
I agree.
If we approach it thoughtfully and ethically,
right,
AI can unlock some incredible opportunities.
For designers and for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
So as you keep exploring the world of AI and design, keep asking questions, challenge those assumptions.
Keep learning.
Exactly, because the future of design is being written right now.
And we all have a role to play in shaping it.
That's right.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, thanks for joining us.